arrested on Friday the 13th,
Oh,
1942. And it was discharged on November 19th, 1945. I don't know if the Friday the 13th was a bad omen because
You're back.
I'm here. I had a lot of friends who lost their lives back here in Milwaukee, like my best friend Harry Mulich, and then there was Russ Wittig and Harvey Zabel, and then I bought a car from Jimmy Block, and he was killed in the service. Then I made new friends in the service, and lost a lot of those guys. One in particular, a friend of mine by the name of Farrell Hill, and many more, many more guys. I never mentioned this before, but I killed a guy with a hand grenade. I don't know if it was me or it was the guy that was with me, but we were in a Jeep going into Carrington, and we saw somebody, snipers, shoot from a store window down and shot the tire out. I was sitting on the back of the Jeep, and he shot the tire out underneath. And of course we had to come to a stop, and we dispersed. We ran up to the store, and I threw a hand grenade up. And the other guy went up the steps and threw a hand grenade. And there was no more. We went up, and here this young German guy was literally hamburger. Just tore him apart. I often think about that. His mother was probably still waiting for him to come home.
When did you get shot?
In invasion.
Which
Oh, and then, yeah, on the way down, I was shot and laying there, and I could hear German machine guns right nearby, and this friend of mine from the medical company, Tom Doyle, saw me laying there, and he came over and he helped me. He says, "Put your arm over my shoulder," and I did, and then we struggled, and he took me into a first aid station. Actually, it was a base hospital, and there they said that the bullet had just gone in my leg and went right around the bone and out the rear. So they sewed it up, and I laid there about 3 days, and then they said, "You can go back to your company." Well, later on, this Tom Doyle, the guy that helped me, we were on our way up to Bastogne, Belgium in 10-ton trucks, and they didn't take us into Bastogne, they took us on the outskirts, and then they dumped us out. Oh, then we were up in Bastogne there, and then the Germans surrounded us up there. And we were surrounded for 10 days. And then that's when they sent us this letter to surrender. I got all the wording in the old Christmas letter there. And that's when General Taylor in the meantime had gone back to Washington, D.C. to prepare for us to go to Japan and fight in the Japanese War, because they figured the German war wasn't going to last much longer. So while Taylor was gone, the assistant division commander, who was General Tony McAuliffe, was in command, and I was assigned to the chief of staff and commanding general's section or office. There was Dan Baxley and me. Anyway, when the Germans asked us to surrender, McAuliffe read it, and he says, "I'm nuts." And he said, "What am I going to answer?" And then this Lieutenant Colonel Paul Danny says, "Oh, why don't you tell him nuts?" He said, okay, and then I was sergeant there, he says, Sergeant, put a sheet of paper in your typewriter, write this to the commanding general, to the commanding general of the army, or German army. Nuts, put it in capital letters and then sign it the American commander. So I did, never thinking anything further of it. And then this German emissary, whoever brought the message over, took it back, and that's how things started. Well, we waited and waited because they were gonna annihilate us with, I don't know how many corps of German artillery and panzer divisions and so forth. So we sat kind of tight in Bastogne there waiting for it to come, and one day we heard the German tanks starting up, so we had to go out on the line and see if they were going to attack. That company commander throws a bazooka at me. He says, Ed, you take a bazooka and knock on any tanks that come this way. Another guy had the ammunition. Boy, was I happy they didn't come, because I didn't know how to shoot one of those things to begin with. Just had a general idea, and we were all set, loaded, waiting for them to come. You could hear the rattling of it. And what do you know, that's when the weather broke. We were covered with clouds all the time. But not a, I think it was the day after Christmas. The weather broke, and the Air Corps P-47s and P-51s came in. They were given positions by the liaison, who else had a lieutenant colonel assigned to us to coordinate the Air Corps, give them targets. And he gave them the targets where the tanks were, and those P-47 guys came in and just literally destroyed those tanks, blew them up to parts. Well, that was the end of Bastogne. And after this had all subsided, we were in the basement of a Belgian army barracks, and there's a knock on the door. I opened up the door and hear Patton standing. Oh my gosh. You know, I always feared him because they said he was old blood and guts, and that he had, you know, literally treated guys bad. And I saw he's a big guy. He had 4 stars on his helmet shining on, and those ivory handled guns, and he had a sheepskin jacket on. He said, "Where's the commanding general?" And I said, "I'll get him for you." So I moved real fast, and I went into the chief of staff's private room. That was Colonel Higgins. By then he was a brigadier general. And I said, General Patton, sir, wants to see General McCullough. And he couldn't believe me. He said, who? I said, Patton. Oh my gosh. He quick put on his helmet, he went and got McCullough, and then the two of them went into the officer, and then they talked with Patton. In the meantime, well, then General Taylor heard all this commotion going on, and he was in Washington, and he took an airplane back, and he jumped out, and he came, and the first thing he says, now we're ready to take the offensive. Here the guys were all knocked out, you know, so, and when he got there, he was all primed, ready to go. We were given orders to go down to clean out the Salzburg area. That's Salzburg, Austria. So we went down the Rhine River by truck convoy through Cologne and Dusseldorf, Germany. And I'll never forget Cologne because some GI wrote with a big white paintbrush on a fence there, "I walk Cologne." There used to be a song, "I walk alone." And as we were going on a convoy towards Salzburg, Austria, all of a sudden we heard this rat-tat-tat-tat-tat-tat, and here two German warplanes were strafing us. They were the first airplanes without propeller driven. They were
Jets?
the first two jet airplanes that nobody knew what those things were before. The Germans invented them, and that was our first experience with them. And boy, those things just came and they were gone, you know. And then they came back and swiped us again. Well, everybody jumped off the convoy and into the ditches alongside. And after they strafed us twice, I think they departed. But boy, what an experience to have an airplane like that assault you. I don't know how long we were there in Berchtesgaden, but it was a beautiful place. And then we were driving around in the Alps. We had our own Jeep and looking over country and flushing out any Germans that, there were a lot of German soldiers never knew that the war was over then. And they were still hiding out in the Alps. And one guy looked just like Hitler. I swear it was Hitler, but it really wasn't. You know, it looked like them. And he ran away from us. What else could I remember from that? And well, when we came back, you know, through, so I got to Belgium, France, Germany, England, Scotland, and along with that, Paris, London. I was many times in London. Maybe half a dozen times I got to go to Paris and Edinburgh, Scotland. And then I think when I came back home, we came to Patrick Henry, Virginia. And from Virginia, I went to Fort Sheridan, Illinois, and there they discharged me and just gave me an overcoat to wear on the way home, and then I had that barracks bag. And I took the North Shore from Fort Sheridan to the end of the line in Milwaukee. I was 6th in Michigan, and I got off in 6th in Michigan. It was in November. It was kind of cold. And I walked up to 6th in Wisconsin. I got a streetcar to take me home.